Hey y'all, Instinct Survival is coming again with another 2-Tip Tuesday. This time we're continuing the series of knife safety, or cutting techniques if you will. Today we're going to be talking about two different ones. One is the shoulder technique and one is the thumb push. Now in doing so, what we're going to do today is feature the Henson Forge and Leather neck knife. What? That's a beauty. Anyway, so let's talk about the different techniques, right? So we talked about last week, and that'll appear right there, in how to do a push stroke with your arm, right? Now this time it may come down to where we're looking at, we may encounter something a little bit more difficult. This is also a safer technique because you don't have to worry about that blood circle quite as much because you're going to be pushing down onto a surface. Now keeping in mind, if you're going to do that surface, make sure it's not stone with your knife, concrete, something that hard. You don't want to do this technique over that hard of a surface. So there's that one. So we're going to break away. I'm going to show you what that looks like, and then we're going to also do the thumb push technique. And the reason for the thumb push is to get that fine edge, or fine areas if you will, smaller cuts in doing the thumb push itself. So we'll go through that as well, and we'll do a close-up on that one also. All right, so let's reposition the camera and then we'll get started. Okay, and so with the shoulder push technique, what you'll notice is I'm taking and locking my physical arm. My arm is staying locked or trying to stay locked. I may bend it up, push it, and then push down with my shoulder. But the whole motion is this, is I'm locking, and then if you'll notice my shoulder in this, is I'm actually just moving my shoulder and back. That's the actual movement in it. And the reason we backed out is so that you can see that movement. Outside of that, it's real simple. I'm just taking and pushing into the wood itself. All right, and this is one of the reasons why you want to make sure that you have this on a firm surface that's not a rock, because if you cut through that, so if I were to cut through this whole piece and go past, I'm going to go in and hit that specific solid object. So this being a piece of wood, not a problem, but if it's stone, concrete, anything of hard nature, you're going to cause your knife to be dull real quick and probably put some nicks in it. Now with this small knife, this is not a great knife for this technique. However, I wanted to be able to feature this one today, and you can see I'm actually taking some material off without a problem. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is a great technique for feather sticks as well. And y'all probably see me do it in a video before. I'm just taking and doing some feather sticks in this specific area. I also do it this way to get some good ones as well. So just as a by the way. All right, so now let's get a close-up and I'll show you the thumb push technique. Okay, so for the thumb push, it is literally this motion. I'm taking, I have my knife, I can do it, hold it here, I can hold it this way, however I need to hold it, but this thumb, your opposite thumb, is the one that's using for giving you that leverage. Okay, now you'll see me, I may end up doing both of them because it gives me just a little bit more leverage. A lot of people, you know, chop vegetables and stuff with that thumb or the finger on the top. But this is the exact same principle. We're just doing it with wood and actually getting a little bit more push to it. Where this comes into play is I may have a stop cut, I may need a smaller cut to go in and work a piece of wood, and that's where you want to get that little bit of material off as opposed to the big sweeping motion we've been doing. We're going to just get that little bitty piece, if you will, and that's great for like a notch. If I want to do a hook, if I want to do a pot hook as an example, I'm just taking and getting smaller and smaller pieces and just kind of whittling away at it. And literally it's a whittling cut anyway. So I'm taking, kind of clear that out. But you can see the motion here is just going in and pushing with my thumbs. Again, the only purpose of doing that, I mean, I can do it this way, that's fine. The downside of this is then I could slip and go further and go way past where I wanted to cut. But with that thumb, with your other thumb working in that, you're only using this one as a hinge, if you will, or a pivot point to get that cut. So I'm not going in and going, oh, let me do it this way. I'm just using it as a pivot point I can take and cut down into it. Cool. So there you go, folks. Pretty easy. Again, 2 more cuts just to add to your repertoire, if you will. Yeah, there's my fancy word of the day. To your toolbox, your mental toolbox of how to make 2 separate cuts. Again, the shoulder push method, so you can get more material off. You can combine that with the arm push method. Again, you saw me do the arm push, which is push, then shoulder. And I do that quite a bit if it's a very big piece of material or if I'm encountering a knot. The other being the thumb push, so that we can get the smaller, finer cuts that we're dealing with, and again, going across or notching out, if you will, different pieces of wood. So I want to give a big shout out to Henson Forge and Leather. Thank you again for the neck knife and the hat. I do appreciate it. Work out very nicely, just by the way. The other side of this is, hey guys, keep in mind I've got another one coming, and I may have yet another knife safety one after that. So I'm still working out the details on that one. Until then, use your instincts to survive. Thanks for watching.